Hey folks, it's Tom, your frugal prepper. So, a lot of us experienced a time when we just really couldn't go out and shoot over the last couple years because we did not have any ammunition. Now, I had not reloaded a single round at the beginning of that. I had a Lee's kit put back, I had some powder and some primers and some components put back. I had been saving my range brass that I swept up for years, but I never actually reloaded anything. And so when I went to the store to get 380 ammo, and there just was no 380 ammo at any store anywhere to be bought at any price, and I went to the gun show and I saw them selling boxes to 380 for $99 for 50 rounds. I was like, okay, it's time for me to break out my reloading equipment and learn how this works. I think that it's a good idea to learn to reload at least a few rounds and come up with a load that works and write that down, and to maybe reload a couple every now and then just to stay in practice. But more importantly is to have the equipment, because the Lee's Anniversary Challenger kit that I bought back in the day for $129, and now they go for like $180. But during the shortage, when everybody was buying reloading equipment, they were going for $480. So they were going for a whole lot more money then. So it's a good idea to have that stuff. Wait till things are plentiful, buy it up, put it away, and then you can get it out if you need to later. So I want to go through some of the things that I had, and some of the things that I bought, and some of the things that I bought that I wish I wouldn't have bought, that were kind of superfluous. And just kind of tell you what I do. And what I've kind of done here is set up what I would use for reloading a 9mm round. I don't currently own, well, I have a little double shot Derringer in 9mm, but that's the only 9mm I own. I know I need to get another 9mm weapon because that's the most common round in an SHCF scenario. It's what you're most likely to find. But I normally shoot 380. So let me kind of take you through what I've got here. That's just this guy right here. Basically comes with the press. It comes with these two things. It comes with two of these to put in large or small primers. And it will decap, you know, so, and you have a set of dies. We'll go into those in a minute. But this does everything you need it to do, and it has this primer installer that you can put right here on the side, and it'll automatically put your primers in your cases for you. So that's another thing that I think is really handy to have if you're going to be doing any type of rounds at all. I have one of the hand primer things that I have bought, but really I don't use that. But it is a good idea to have a backup way to seat primers in case this would break or something. So I'm glad I have that, but I didn't really need that. I think this is sufficient. Looks like the new kit comes with a round black one, but it's the same setup down here, so I'm sure it works just as good. But basically you just open this up, you put your primers in, and then you shake it back and forth until they're all upside down, and then you close this and you're ready to go. And it comes with two of these, one's for large and one's for small primers. So different calipers use different primers. Your 223 typically uses a small pistol primer. 7.62 by 39, or I'm sorry, 223 uses a small rifle primer. 7.62 by 39 normally uses a large rifle primer. 45 can use a small or a large pistol primer depending on the manufacturer. But things like 380, 9mm, 38, 357, those are going to use small pistol primers. But a 357 Magnum will use a small Magnum pistol primer. But you can kind of interchange Magnum and regular pistol primers if you need to. They'll definitely fit, and they work as far as I've done it. So I've used Magnum primers in a 380, it works fine. And I've used regular pistol primers in a 357, it works fine. But I think for the best, you'd probably want to stick with the correct primer. Anyway, so you're going to want a digital scale. The analog scale that comes with the Lee's, it is good enough to get you started, but these are really nice because what you can do is basically set your cup that you're going to weigh on here. So this comes with the lease kit. This is a little powder tray that comes with your scale. But what I will do is I will put this on my scale, right? Then I'll hit the tare button. Then I'll fill a case and I'll dump it out and I'll see how many grains is there. And then I can just do that. Like every 10 rounds or so I can fill a case, hit the tare button, dump it out, and see how much it weighs to make sure that I'm staying on. Now a powder measure is going to drop within 0.1 grains typically. So 1/10 of a grain plus or minus is typically where you want to stay. So you never want to load right to your maximum load. You want to stay in the middle so that it can swing back and forth a little bit. You're going to need a powder trickler if you want to bring them right up to the maximum load, which is just a little thing that trickles powder in, and you can weigh each casing to get them right to that maximum load. But typically a medium load is just fine for me, for my purposes. And this digital scale will save you a lot of time over the balance beam scale that comes with the lease kit. The balance beam scale is still good to double check this scale to make sure it's dead on. So like this comes with a 50 grain weight. You can put that on there and check it, and you can also put this on your balance beam scale, check it there. You can measure the powder in between the two to make sure they're dead on. Just because this is a $20 cheap Chinese scale, and I usually like to double check it before I start reloading to make sure it's still accurate. But it always has been really accurate for me, and it works really well. So that's a little $20 upgrade. The other thing that you're going to need is some reloading trays, and this will depend a little bit on the caliper, but these can flip over this way, and you can put like rifle casings in them. They can flip over this way, put 9mm 380 in there, but you'll need some reloading trays. I'll put a link to these down below. So these are great for reloading 380, but you're going to want 2 of them because you're going to want to work from one tray to the other when you're working in batches. So you'll want to line all your casings up on this one, and then you fill it with powder, you sit it over here. You fill it with powder, you sit it over here. You don't want to accidentally double charge one, right? That's a nightmare, right? That'll blow your gun up. Now 380, typically with the amounts of powder that fit in a 380, you're not going to be able to seat the bullet if you double charge it. But like things like 38 special, you can definitely double charge those, and it'll make that 38 more powerful than a magnum load, and it will blow up the gun. So you have to be careful, and that's why I recommend getting 2 trays to work between. There are other trays for other calipers. So this is the tray that I use when I'm reloading 44 magnums, and I usually only reload about half at a time. So I will take and put a piece of tape down the middle and work from one side to the other. Or, you know, this one also works for 44 Magnum and 45. But you're going to need a few reloading trays like that. For most calipers, or most of your smaller calipers, these are going to work just perfectly fine. And like I said, I put a link to these down below. The other thing is powder measures. Now this is the powder measure that comes with the Lee's Challenger kit. It has a few disadvantages, right? Number one, with your fine ball powders, like Accurate number 2, it's going to leak a little powder out the side. It just is. And that's normal. But if you use something like a flake powder like Ramshot Zip, it won't leak. If you use a small cylindrical powder, it won't leak. But these really fine ball powders will leak just a little bit. It'll still work. And it'll still be accurate even though it's leaking out the side. It'll still throw an accurate charge. But basically the way this works is this comes down, it fills up this tube with your powder, and this adjusts the height of that tube inside. And it fills that up with the correct amount of powder, and then you do this and it dumps it out the bottom here. And then you go like this and it fills it back up. This particular measure has one annoying issue. And that is that it doesn't have a spot on the top to fill it. So you have to pull this off in order to fill it. Well, it has a shut off right here, right? And you can turn this and you can shut it off on the ends. If you pull that out and you forget to shut it off, you're going to have a workbench full of powder, and it's a nightmare. So that's one thing I don't like about this. I've thought about cutting this off and getting some type of a cap that fit on there. The other thing is like as you dump powder out, like if you're doing test measurements and stuff, you can't dump it right back in the top, so you have to dump it back in your powder container. But it's a pretty good powder measure, and it will definitely get you by. And I still use this occasionally. I just have the screws and I put it down on my workbench, and I still use it. A lot of times, like on my other powder measure back here, I have accurate number 2, but say I want to load some ram shot zip, I'll just put it in this one and leave that one, so I don't have to go through and blow all the old powder out of that one and clean it out to change powders. But I'd say this is a good enough powder measure, and you'll get used to it, but it's not the best powder measure. If you're going to do a lot of reloading, you're probably going to want a better powder measure. I have the Lyman powder measure back here, right here, and I have this on my spare press. So this is a little cheapy Lee's press, and that acts as a backup in case this one goes down. And I have my Lyman powder measure here. This is a really nice powder measure for the money. It really is. So another thing you're going to need is a digital caliper, and I have a link to one that it looks identical to this one. This one's actually from Radio Shack before they went out of business, but there's a link that one that looks identical on Amazon, and it's like 18 bucks. But this will allow you to measure the length of your bullets and your casings and all that kind of stuff to make sure they're within spec. And I like my 380 at .970, and that's .970. So but you're going to need to measure, so you need a cheap caliper, and that doesn't come with the kit at all, so you're going to need one of those. And then you're just going to need your supplies. So this is all 9mm brass here that I have picked up off of the range. When I'm sweeping up my brass, I accidentally sweep up some other calipers now and then, and over the last few years, this is all the 9mm that I've accidentally swept up. And I've just cleaned it and polished it and put it in this container, so I have 9mm I could reload at some point, or I could trade this to somebody else that has a bunch of 380 or something that I need. You're going to also need a set of reloading dies. I recommend getting the 4-die set on the pistol calipers because it has the factory crimp die. You don't have to factory crimp it, but it puts like a more of a roll crimp on it and just gives it a really nice profile and appearance, so that will fit and function perfectly in the gun. You can just put a taper crimp on it with your bullet seating die, which is this guy. Yeah, that's the bullet seating die. And you can put a taper crimp on it with this. I'm not going to go into the actual details of how you reload in this video, just the kind of reloading equipment that I've gotten. And there's plenty of videos out there that will teach you how to do it. And then you're going to need to get supplies. You're going to need things like small pistol primers. These things are like gold right now. They're normally $3 or $4 a piece. Right now this will go for $15 to $20 a piece, right? I would suggest go on Gunbroker or wherever you have to go and get 1,000 small pistol primers or whatever caliper you're loading for, and just keep them and use a couple packs and learn how to reload and keep the rest in storage. But then when the prices do come down and they do come back in stock, stock up on them. Stock up on them heavy. Get 10 or 20,000 of them, and then just keep them in a ammo can, and they will stay good forever. You're going to need bullets, right? These are some 114 grain 9mm rounds, so you're going to need some of these bullets just to have them on hold. I usually buy from Everglades Ammo, but you can find a place that sells whatever kind of bullet you like, and you can reload that. And I think that's about it. Now the other thing is cleaning the brass. Yeah, I will take you over here to my brass tumbler back here. I put a link to this whole kit down below for 82 bucks. It'll tumble and clean your brass. It's an excellent way to do it. You can also use Lemmy Shine or citric acid and soak it and clean it that way. This, you just dump it in with the tumbling media, turn it on, come back in a few hours, and it's clean. I highly recommend that for 82 bucks. And I recommend that you just, when you get your brass in, go ahead and tumble it and clean it, throw it in a big container like this, sit it on the shelf so that it's ready to reload. But that is kind of what I have for reloading. That's kind of some stuff that you're going to need. As far as reloading data, whatever kind of powder you use, you can go on their website, download a PDF and print it out, and it tells you all the different loads and sizes and, you know, the maximum overall length and all that kind of stuff for every kind of load. But just go and print that out. You don't need to get a big reloading book. A lot of people recommend this book. It is full of technobabble that you're never going to understand. It's crazy. I recommend not getting that book. Just start reloading and go with your reloading data. Find somebody that reloads and ask them. Go on an online forum. Ohioans for Concealed Carry has a reloading group that's great. You can Google that. But yeah, you can go find the information, find videos on how to reload, and then you develop your load, and then you write it down and you remember it. So anyway, that's all I got, folks. Time to Frugal Prepper. I will talk to y'all later.